The first Europeans settled in the Riachuelo area in 1536. The earliest signs of pollution started appearing at the beginning of the 19th century with the installation of meat processing plants. The concentration of factories along the basin increased throughout the 20th century, with food processing plants, tanneries, meat processing plants, electroplating, and petrochemical plants discharging untreated wastewater into the river. By this time, there were already 5 million people living along the basin. From 1810 onwards, different governments implemented cleaning and sanitation strategies which have either failed or remain unfulfilled. The Matanza-Riachuelo basin has thus turned into one of the most polluted in the world. The 1994 constitutional amendment stated that all inhabitants have the right to a healthy and balanced environment and the duty to preserve it. In 2002, the General Environmental Law was enacted, and a group of people affected by pollution filed a class action suit asking for environmental rehabilitation and the creation of a fund to clean the basin. In 2006, the Argentine Supreme Court ruled in favor of the inhabitants, recognizing that a collective right had been violated. That same year, the Matanza-Riachuelo Basin Authority was established by law. Acumar has jurisdiction over the basin, which includes the city of Buenos Aires and 14 municipalities in the province of Buenos Aires. In 2008, the court finally established a duty to guarantee an improvement in the quality of life of the inhabitants, restore the environmental conditions, and prevent future damages. In 2010, Acumar presented its comprehensive environmental sanitation plan. PISA is a long-term plan seeking to improve the environmental quality of the Matanza-Riachuelo basin. This plan supports, among others, industrial reconversion processes for plants within the basin, the implementation of a waste management strategy, which includes cleaning of garbage in the water body and removal of sunken ships to improve water circulation and oxygenation. The opening and paving of an important part of the Riverside Road, to have a two-way access road with new public spaces, parks, and forestation along the banks. Construction of houses for families living in environmentally vulnerable areas of the basin. These actions are already showing some results. A fauna monitoring study carried out by Acumar showed that there have been positive changes in biodiversity upstream, midstream, and downstream of the basin. Sanitation of the basin is a complex, long-term endeavor that involves many stakeholders, different jurisdictions, government organizations, NGOs, and citizens. The World Bank is supporting this process through the Matanza-Riachuelo Basin Sustainable Development Project, the largest investment loan in Latin America, for a total amount of $718 million. The project's objectives are to improve sewer sanitation services along the basin, reduce industrial pollution, improve land use planning, and contribute to Acumar's institutional strengthening. The state-owned water utility Agua y Saneamientos Argentinos is one of the main partners in the basin's recovery process. AISA supplements PISA through the construction of the Riachuelo system, the largest infrastructure undertaking since the startup of the sewerage network in the Buenos Aires metropolitan area. These works entail an investment of $1,200 million, part of which is funded by the World Bank. The Riachuelo system works include an underground left bank collector which will transport sewage from Buenos Aires City and parts of Greater Buenos Aires. In turn, the works include 14 kilometers of supplementary tunnels that will connect with the main collector, intercepting dry period flows of the drainage network and streams that are currently discharged directly into the Riachuelo. A wastewater pre-treatment plant in Dock Sud, a 12-kilometer subaquatic outfall that will transport the pre-treated effluents to the Rio de la Plata. The last section of this outfall, a 1.5 kilometer long section, will allow appropriate final disposal through diffusers. Once the Riachuelo system becomes operational, sewer sanitation services will improve for over 4.3 million inhabitants living along the left bank of the Riachuelo. It will also enable future sewerage expansions for over 1.5 million inhabitants in the southern part of Greater Buenos Aires. The World Bank project also supports other investments in the basin. Expansion of the drinking water and sewerage network to improve services in slums and settlements in the city and in the province of Buenos Aires. A sludge treatment plant for the ISA Southwest Wastewater Treatment Plant. A tannery industrial park in the municipality of Lanús, including a wastewater treatment plant. Around 20 industries are expected to settle in this park, operating under high environmental standards. The bank also collaborates in the design of flood contingency plans and supports technical, social, and environmental studies to build reservoirs for temporary retention of water surpluses in the upper and middle basin. The river is more than just its water quality. It is a key part of the urban environment. Therefore, Acumar's medium-term strategy includes comprehensive urban planning of the basin area. Other urban renewal success stories worldwide are being analyzed, such as those in Hamburg and London. These examples will help think of a future that will value and develop the historical, social, and cultural heritage of the basin. By transforming this iconic place in Buenos Aires, the World Bank is supporting the huge challenge of changing a history of 2,000 years.